Which African country you think is more racist to other African countries? Like which African country you think hates African in Africa and even out of Africa? Let's talk about this. You think your life not a joke?
A lot of South Africans don't like to be called out on this, but xenophobia is something that you're too comfortable with. You pass derogatory comments and jokes about certain groups of people and nationalities and think that it's okay. You will even go as far as being defensive and saying they deserve it because they also pass derogatory comments about South Africans or say things of a similar nature without realizing that the power dynamics are completely different. You, as a South African, can exercise a level of power that someone of a different nationality who's a foreigner in this country cannot. For example, if you decide in a working space that a specific individual of a particular nationality or this foreigner, and I don't even like to use the word foreigner, but let's just use it for ease of explanation, is not deserving of a position based on their nationality, you can exercise that power, but vice versa, they wouldn't be able to.
So I've been in Denmark now for almost 3 months. And I have to say this. I've never felt safer in a country more than I feel here. Even more than my own country, South Africa. Cape Town specifically. I've never seen people so kind, so considerate, so human. They respect runners here. I'm a runner myself every morning. There's small roads where I stay. It's on the countryside. I've never seen people who would drive on the other side just to avoid you. I go to a supermarket. I don't have to worry about people looking at me like I'm crazy, looking at my hair, judging me. South Africa is more racist.
South African people like to act like they are one. They like to say Rainbow Nation. But we all know South African people amongst themselves don't even like each other. The Zulu people don't like the Sotho people. The Sotho people don't even like the Pedi people. But they come from the same lineage of Basotho, of Batswana, of Bapedi. They don't even know. The Zulu people will hate Venda people. The Zulu people will hate Xhosa people. But we want to claim because we're South African, we are one. We don't even like each other within the country we live in. Before we even go into Africa, we have a civil war in South Africa.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Robi Masaga. Today I want us to dive into a complex and emotional topic. I want us to talk about xenophobia in South Africa and why South Africans don't like being corrected, especially by fellow Africans. Now, the reason why I decided to do this particular topic is because just recently I did cover a topic about Chidimma, a Nigerian lady who just won Miss Universe Africa. And on that particular episode, I did explain how Chidimma was rejected by South Africans, but she didn't take that rejection personal. She fought hard and she ended up winning Miss Universe Africa. And let me tell you, the reason why I've actually decided to do this topic is because on that particular post, the kind of comments that I saw, that is what that triggered me to, do this as a follow-up story. I felt like South Africans are people who don't like being corrected, especially by us fellow Africans. I received both love and hate in equal measures. I received love from Nigerians because they knew whatever I was talking about was true, but South Africans didn't want to be corrected. They called me all sorts of names. They called Nigerians also all sorts of names. No one was ready to hear whatever that we were saying. And I'm not here to create division. I'm here to at least call out these South Africans who don't like being corrected. We want change. And the only way you can change something is if someone tells you the truth. And sometimes it's just good to listen to people. Sometimes we do mistakes and we don't even know we are wrong until someone comes out there and tells us that whatever we are doing is wrong. But for South Africans, they don't want to be corrected. I have a few comments that I want to share with you people before I even say much. Then on the comment section, let me know what your thoughts are on this particular topic. Remember to subscribe, like, and also share this video. Genuine BS, crying for a damn fraud identity criminal. Nigeria got a best standing in Miss Universe history thanks to South Africa. Trained in SA, we are known for pageants. To you guys, it's like you won. I understand your happiness. Next year, you are on your own. Point of correction, Chidimma was not born in South Africa. It's a blessing in disguise. We helped her to shine in Nigeria. She's where God wants her to be. Homeland. It's not a rejection. The fact remains, she's Nigerian. She must face the consequences of her parents. She got a clean win without crime on her back. We don't care as South Africans as long as she does not represent us. You can call us names, we will still do it again and again. She's not South African and she will never be. Someone suffered because of her parents. Sorry to burst your bubble. No, we don't care. And it's Miss South Africa pageant who trained Chichi for the big stage. South Africa is hosting next Miss Universe. We are looking forward to seeing her. South Africa is truly blessed. We are blessing all these Nigerians who have no content. We are their breadwinners. YouTube algorithm confirmation. So shameless. The South Africans are not crying. They are busy on every page laughing at Chidimma for coming second, which is quite ridiculous.
So to all the South Africans who hate foreigners, I have a question for you. What about all the South Africans who are working with foreigners? What about all the South Africans who are benefiting from foreigners? There's plenty of families, ekasi, in the hood, who their back rooms are rented by foreigners, and that's how they get their bread and butter. Foreigners pay rent. So if foreigners leave, are you gonna go and rent those back rooms? How are you gonna compensate that family for the money they have lost because of your hatred towards foreigners? Do you care about those families? What about everyone who fix their phones at foreigners, whether Indians or Nigerians? Should they stop going to Nigerians and Indians to fix their phones? Are you gonna fix their phones? Do you know how to fix a phone? Do you know where they buy the screen protectors and the pouches of the phones? How are you gonna bridge the gap? Are you gonna open your own store where you fix phones? Are you gonna be consistent? How much are you gonna charge us? So, should they stop? Do you know where they buy the extra parts to fix phones and laptops, like the extra screens, the extra body parts of a phone? Do you know where they stock them? You know? What about everyone who buys fruit and veggies cheaper, affordable prices in the street from foreigners? Should they suddenly stop buying? Are you gonna open a space there and sell fruit and veggies? Are you gonna be consistent? Are you gonna sell every day? Are your prices gonna be affordable? How are you gonna bridge the gap if foreigners leave? What about all the women, all the ladies who do their hair, their nails, their lashes from foreigners, including their makeup? What should happen to them? Do you have a solution for those women? Are you gonna open your own salon? Do you have machinery? Do you have the equipment to run a successful salon where you can bridge the gap so those women can come to you? Are your prices gonna be affordable like foreigners' prices? Should those women stop going there? How will you help them? Do you really even care? Or you just wanna chase foreigners so you can appease your ego? What about all the black South African small business owners who stock from foreigners, whether Indian foreigners or other African black foreigners? Should they stop going to stock there? How will their business run? How will their business function if all the people who they stock from are chased away? Do you have a solution for them? What should happen to them? Tell me. Do you know what to say? Do you have answers to all these questions I'm asking you? Do you even care about those people? Or you just want to appease your ego? Foreigners must go. Is that it? Is that the world you want us to live in? Is that how you really think? Is that how you rationalize conversation? So all these questions, they need answers, because chasing foreigners away from South Africa will cause a lot of problems. What about everyone who is hired by foreigners? Should they suddenly lose their job so you can be happy that foreigners are gone? Are you gonna employ those people? Are you gonna buy bread and butter for their families? I'm just asking.
In South Africa, xenophobia is only targeted at black Africans, especially the poorer ones. There's no hate for any Afrikaner person who might have an English dad or a German father, anything, nothing. There's no hate, and it's getting to a point where it just seems like South African society is regressing back to apartheid, where there's mass anti-blackness in the communities, but now it's just becoming anti-blackness towards people that aren't South African. Like, how are they even attacking Uncle Waffles? Uncle Waffles is a music artist. She's bringing Amapiano to the world. But because she's from Swaziland, they're now rejecting her as not being a South African. Like, how does that even make sense? It's ridiculous, man.
There's a strong sentiment that there's a lot of xenophobia in South Africa. So what was your experience being in Joburg there?
Zero. Of course, I think that the media will tend to
but it's not just white media. I think this has been coming from other African nationalities living in South Africa,
yeah,
sharing their experiences, and the news spreads. It goes to the WhatsApp group chats, and all of a sudden there's this basic perception of South Africans as being xenophobic, anti-African. They don't want foreigners there.
Yeah.
So you going there,
I didn't experience one ounce of that. Yeah. In fact, they would I don't look South African, but there was a couple times where someone would come start speaking to me in Venda.
Wow.
Or Zulu or something, just at a restaurant or something. And I was like, okay, cool. But then when they would figure out I'm not South African, they didn't treat me any different.
That's really good to hear.
Yeah. So of course, I empathize with those who have experienced xenophobia, but I personally didn't experience that in South Africa. And like I said, once I got to Joburg, life just started happening.
Now, let's address the xenophobia part of it. South Africans have gone through a lot of tension, especially between locals and migrants from other countries like Nigeria, Congo, Zimbabwe, etc. And foreigners are always blamed for crime and unemployment. And this hostility comes from economic competition. Some locals, they always feel threatened when foreigners go to their country and they do better than them. Some of these foreigners will work for lower wages. Some of them will go there and start businesses, and South Africans will feel threatened by that. Some of them don't want to work. Some of them just want to lazy around. Then the moment a foreigner goes to their country and does better than them, that is when now they start feeling threatened. So who are you supposed to blame? Yourself or that foreigner who has come to your country and worked hard than you? Who are you supposed to blame? For instance, let me give you guys an example. Here in Kenya, we have so many Somalis, to an extent where that these people have their own small town. It's called Eastleigh. You can Google that, you'll see. The largest mall in, I think in Africa, among the largest malls in Africa is in Eastleigh. And majority of people who have businesses in that mall are Somalis. You can Google that information. And do we fight them? We don't. Do we feel bad? We don't. It's because for them, they've come here, they've worked hard, they've gotten whatever that they wanted in life. So why should we fight them? If I'm just here lazing around, then someone comes to, my country, works hard, they're paying taxes, they're doing everything that is required for them to be in Kenya, for them to have a business here in Kenya. So why should I start fighting them just because they came here and, gotten whatever that they wanted to get? And I don't want to work, I just want to lazy around. But now I want to fight them just because I am seeing that they're getting something that I would wish to have. In life, you cannot have something that you are not working hard for. You have to work for you to get that. For you to get money, you have to work hard. You cannot drive if you don't work hard. You cannot have a good house if you don't want to work. So why should you start fighting foreigners just because they come to your country, work hard, and get whatever that they want to get in life? I've seen so many black people doing well in these Western countries. They are doing so well than these people. And you ask yourself, why is a black person doing so well in a white man's country? And you walk on the streets, you find a white man begging, you ask yourself why. It's because some of them don't want to work. Some of them just want to lazy around and wait for the government to feed them. They want to, wait for people to come from foreign countries and work for them. They don't want to work for lower wages. So in life, you get what you want. You get what you work for. So you can't start blaming foreigners for getting, for having a good life, and it's you who is the problem. You don't want to work. You want to lazy around, and you want to blame others. Foreigners have been labeled criminals, just like I said before. And this is a stereotype that should not be underestimated. Majority of us, we get comfortable in our own countries. So when foreigners come to our countries and work hard and get whatever that they came to work for, we start getting jealous. We start hating on them. And this is something that we need to stop. We should actually support these foreigners because they are not working for free. They are paying taxes. They are doing their due diligence first before they do anything in your country. So don't take them as bad competitors. Take that as an advantage to help you work hard. When you have someone who is motivating you, it only means that you're also going to work hard for you to get whatever that this person is getting. So don't hate on such people. What you need to do is at least appreciate the fact that they are in your country, they are working hard, they are paying taxes, and those taxes are benefiting you. They are not benefiting them, they are not benefiting their country, they are benefiting your own country. Let's now talk about why South Africans resist correction from other Africans. I read a few comments. From those comments, do you think these are people who are ready to listen? These are people who are ready to sit down with you and listen to whatever that you're telling them? Well, I do understand they're proud of their country's history, especially after they fought hard and overcame apartheid. So criticism from fellow Africans, to them, it feels like, we are undermining them. It's like insulting them. That is why they don't like being corrected, which is wrong. Because in life, you have to accept correction. Because no one is perfect. No one is perfect in this life. So someone out there might spot something you're doing wrong that you don't even know. So you have to accept when you're being corrected by either a stranger or maybe someone who knows you very well. And that is one mistake that South Africans are doing. So many South Africans feel like other African countries didn't do enough to help them during apartheid. But let me tell you guys, do you know all African countries, they had their own problems. We were all fighting for independence. So you cannot come out here blaming other countries just because you went through something that wasn't okay for South Africans to go through apartheid. But we were also fighting our own battles. And are we hating on South Africans because they didn't come to help us? We are not. So it's not okay to blame other people or to hate people. To me, it feels like they're trying to justify their mistakes, because all African people were going through the same thing that South Africans were going through. Why is that we are not hating other people just because they didn't come to help us? Why is that Kenyans are relating well with Somalis? I know we do have a few misunderstandings, just like any other family. We do have a few misunderstandings, but we don't fight Somalis. We've never fought Somalis. We get along so well. When you go to Eastleigh, just like I said, you'll find Kenyans interacting so well with Somalis. So why is that you people will get, you're going to hate on other Africans just because they didn't help you during apartheid, when yet, even for them, they were also going through the same thing that you people were going through. They were also fighting their own battles. They were fighting hard to get independence. South Africans need to know that no one is perfect, and criticism does not mean hate. It does not mean that someone hates you. It's a call for betterment. When someone criticizes you or criticizes your moves, it means that this person means well for you. They want you to change. And if at all African countries could engage in this conversation with mutual respect, trust me, we would achieve a lot. But because we want to show each other who is stronger than the other, we will never achieve anything. We will always fight. And the reason I'm calling on South Africans, it's because they've been called out by so many countries. We can all agree to that. They've been called out by so many African countries, and they need, when someone calls you out, you need to sit and reflect. Am I doing something bad? Do I need to change? That is what South Africans need to do. You people are trying to justify your mistake, when yet we even see on news about xenophobia. We see on BBC, we see on CNN. We see it everywhere. But you people are trying to justify your mistake. You need to understand that being criticized does not mean that someone hates you. It only means that they want the best for you. To all my South African viewers, I hear your frustrations, but let's redirect that energy to real problems like unemployment, corruption, inequality. That is where we need to redirect that energy to. Let's stop fighting each other. Let's accept criticism. When we are corrected, let's accept that. Yeah, because we want the best for all of us. Anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Let me know what your thoughts are on this particular topic on the comment section. Yeah, and if you liked this topic, please don't forget to like, share, and also subscribe to this channel. And until next time,